Hi, I'm Julia Rothman. I'm an illustrator and I did all the art for Citi's Summer Street's 10th anniversary this year. I've been drawing since as long as I've known myself, since I was a really little kid. So I collaborated with a writer friend who I frequently collaborate with, Joshua David Stein, and we sat at a dinner and kind of came up with maybe like 15 of these at first, and then he came up with a bunch more. He would send me over email, and then I was trying to come up with some of mine, and at the very end there was just a few to get to 30, and I think one of the last ones was make like a state and swing. I think if you come across just one of them, you might get a little bit confused, and then you keep walking and you see more of them. I think they work as a series better, so I hope somebody gets confused by just one of them, because that would be funny. But I hope people see the whole series and then they can't wait to see the next one and kind of get excited to see one after the other after the other. Anything that is an unexpected burst of color or something funny or something that makes somebody think, like any little thing that is on the street can change a person's whole day. Because I'm a big believer in like little moments and little interactions and little meetups. So I think if there's a dialogue between some small item that happens to be there, it just can change everything. I hope it makes people feel happy and makes them laugh and makes them think about tumbling or whatever else we decide to put on there, some kind of movement that reminds them that it feels good to move your body. It always takes your breath away for a second to see your art, because you know it's going to be there and you've seen it in pictures, but then when you see it in person it's a different thing, where you're like, there it is, you made that. It's kind of like a disconnect where you're like, oh yeah, I did draw that in my studio on a piece of paper and now it's gigantic on a banner. But yeah, it's thrilling and exciting, and it feels like a little secret you have, because you're walking down the street and you see somebody riding the bike and you know you drew that, but they don't know, and you're like, I drew that. My favorite part of Summer Streets is that you get to walk in the middle of the street and see New York at a totally different angle. Because sometimes you can see New York from a rooftop, or you can see it walking on the sidewalk, or you can see it riding a bike, but you never get to be in the middle of the street walking.